In today's set review, we're gonna be taking a look at one of the oldest sets in my collection. Set number 7115 Gungan Patrol, released in January of 2000 for recommended retail price of only $10 and it included 77 pieces, 2 minifigures and 2 big fig/creatures which we haven't seen since then. Adjusted for inflation, this 25-year-old set would be about $19 in today's money, which feels pretty fair. However, I guess a modern version of the set would probably be way more expensive, but it would also be pretty awesome as we haven't seen that many creatures/big figs in a long time, besides the Jabba and the UCS sale barge of course. On the front of the box you're gonna find both of the Kaadus, that's the name of the orange creatures, and 2 Gungans on top. In the background we see the landscape of Naboo, and in the top right corner is the very nostalgic LEGO Star Wars logo, which will always have a special place in my heart. On the side we find some more images of the figures in the whole set, and on the back side we see some alternate builds, but for this review I'm solely gonna focus on the actual main build of the set. Taking a look at the instruction manual, you can clearly see how far we've come with these. The old sets didn't have numbered backs and the design was also very different. The background has this blue night sky/space look, and on the top of each page we get some pictures from the movie, which was really cool, and I'd actually like to see a comeback of this in modern LEGO Star Wars instruction manuals. I bought the set used, so I'm not 100% sure if these 2 flies originally came with the set, but they are from the same time period and really cool, so let's take a closer look at them. The first of the 2 is all about the LEGO Mindstorms Droid Developer Kit, where you could build and I think even program your own R2-D2, and the second flyer is an advertisement flyer for a bunch of old sets from the early 2000s. Starting off with the not so successful LEGO Star Wars Technic line, which I think is kind of underrated, continuing with the iconic LEGO Castle sets, and at the bottom there are some LEGO website advertisements. On the other side we can find the whole wave of sets, with a lot of them being based on the Phantom Menace as the movie came out in 1999, and also a bunch of other very old LEGO Star Wars sets. These are pretty much some of the oldest sets in this line, as the LEGO Star Wars sub-theme got introduced just a year prior to this one. But now enough of the box and flyers, let's take a look at the figures, and before we take a detailed look I have to say that they are amazing, especially when you have in mind that these are now almost 26-year-old minifigures. Starting off with Jar Jar Binks, who was also in a bunch of other sets. For today's standard he is a pretty basic figure as he has no leg printing and also just a pretty decent torso print, but the head mold was very special for the year 2000 as this was the first Gungan mold ever created from 1999 and it looks pretty good. Later versions had some printing on the head which improved the look a lot, but the old one is still a classic. The second figure is my personal favorite of the set and it is a standard Gungan Soldier. Like Jar Jar, he doesn't have leg printing but got a printing on his torso as well. The headpiece is exactly the same and he comes with the same spear that Jar Jar came with, but he gets this very cool purple shield piece with a golden print on top, which looks very nice. Just like Jar Jar, he doesn't get a print on his head, which is the most noticeable difference between these 2 and more modern Gungans, but of course the absolute best Gungan till now is the beautiful Captain Tarpals from the 2015 Flash Speeder, which I will review pretty soon as well. Taking a quick look at the Kaadu, which you get 2 of in this set, is a pretty basic mold, but still something that feels special as it doesn't happen that often that we get a big creature mold in a set. The Kaadu is just a big mold in one color, in this case being orange, and they later on attach the saddle and reins to complete the look. I think a more modern version of this would probably have a different head section with printed eyes instead of the open studs, but otherwise this does hold up fairly well to modern big figs. Even though both Kaadus are the exact same, they have some different quote-unquote accessories. One of them has this little printed tile with I guess some kind of travel or battle luggage, and 2 of these antenna pieces. Because I bought the set used, mine has only 1 of these, but I didn't feel like buying another one for about $5 to $8 plus shipping, which was the average used price on Bricklink the last time I checked, just to complete the set. Both Kaadus come with a 4x4 plate, so they have more balance and stand up more easily. They do stand on their own, but they are not that stable in that pose, so I do appreciate the green plate resembling the grass of Naboo, and of course also leading to a more stable Kaadu. And of course it's pretty easy to attach Jar Jar to the saddle, so he can ride the Kaadu himself. Just like Jar Jar, the Gungan warrior can ride his Kaadu too, and this one has a boomer carrier attached to it, which are the giant blue balls from the Battle of Naboo, which the Gungans used to fight the battle droids, and it looks pretty cool. The side panels of the carrier kind of double as wheels and can roll, which works a lot better on some carpet and with some more resistance to them. On the back of the carrier you can open this hatch to release the boomers onto the battlefield, which you get a total of 6. On the inside there is a slope which allows the boomers to fall out more easily, and you can pretty simply fill the carrier up again and close it. The build is relatively simple and rudimentary, but for the time it works. And it is attached by 4 of these grey tubes, however the side ones are mostly just for deco and deluxe, as the top 2 ones actually pull the whole weight and attach the boomer carrier to the Kaadu. So now this has been a pretty short review as there really isn't that much more to say, but as a conclusion I will say that I would love to see a remake of the set or sets that are similar to this one in general. We very rarely get Star Wars beasts and creatures that are bigger than normal minifigures, but every time they do it, it is just so cool, and I think a lot of fans would pay some of those Jurassic Park and Jurassic World dinosaur set prices if you get another Rancor or another Bumper. Just imagine how cool it would be to get the Arena beast from the Geonosis Arena from Attack of the Clones. I'd buy a set with those included in a heartbeat. Overall, this is probably in my top 5 of the older classic LEGO Star Wars sets from the early 2000s, and it gets even better when you combine it with a bunch of other sets from this time period. But now let me know what you think of set number 7115 Gungan Patrol. Do you like sets like this, and what creatures would you like to see in the LEGO Star Wars line? Please let me know about your thoughts in the comments down below, as I'm always interested to hear your thoughts. But now I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would very much appreciate a like to support the channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out some of my other videos, you can see them on screen right now.